You have a... Probably I do.
Good morning, everybody. Wake up. In Provincetown.
Chicago's birthday, should we call him?
Oh, it's Sean's too then. Yeah, look.
Oh, yeah.
Tiago's in Brazil.
Great.
Is it 6 hours later? Let's call him. Let's try it.
Is it 6 hours later?
Or no.
Coffee.
Hey Siri, what time is it in Rio de Janeiro?
2
hours later.
Call him. Is it...
He might answer.
Yeah. Sean is not awake.
No.
No, really. Can I have some coffee?
Wake up, wake up. Oh.
Hey everybody, good morning. It's Friday, December 31st, 2021. Happy almost New Year to all of you out there, all of you in here, and you.
If you're watching on Facebook, scoot over to our YouTube channel, hit subscribe while you're there. Please, we're so close to 1,000 subscribers.
We've been off for a week.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
I know. What did you do for the last 2 weeks?
What is that? No. I'm like the safest person to be around right now.
Really?
Yes. I think, have a bout with COVID because I never tested positive.
But you thought you had it?
Yeah. So basically, last Saturday I had like a tickle in the back of my throat. I happened to have an at-home test, so I tested negative, went out that night, which was fine because I had a negative test.
Last Saturday, Christmas Day?
No,
Or the Saturday?
2 Saturdays ago. So the Saturday after last show. Went out that night, and then over the next couple of days started to feel worse and worse. And then Tuesday, I fully lost my sense of smell. So that's when I decided to fully isolate. I'd already been kind of laying low since Saturday night. So I decided to fully isolate, which put me through Christmas. Yeah. Isolated for I isolated until it was 10 days past the first symptom. So, and
You
then
only have to do that for 5 days now.
they announced that on the last day
I
of
know.
my isolation. I was like, ow! But the last 5 days of my isolation, so like the 5 days past the beginning of symptoms, I was sick. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
And I was also like, people kept being like, get a test so you can go somewhere on Christmas Day. If you test negative, you can go somewhere. I'm like, I'm sick.
Right.
Like, no one, could you imagine like going to someone's house for Christmas and like coughing and sneezing and dripping and being like, don't worry, I tested negative. And people are still like, get the fuck out of here. You're also still sick.
You poor thing. I'm glad you're better.
Yeah.
Were Samuel and Steph in there to make you soup and make you feel better? No.
They left town 2 weekends ago. We're supposed to be back last Monday and we're like, you know what, let's just stay where we are. So I think they're coming back just after the new year.
Awesome.
Yeah. It was actually not that I love my roommates, but it was great to isolate alone because then you don't have to worry about infecting your roommates, things like that. So
You can watch whatever you want.
yeah,
You don't have to share the couch or the TV.
yeah, walk around in my underwear the whole time, which I do anyway, even if they're home.
I was going to
but-
say, don't you do that?
yeah.
What did you watch? I mean, 2 whole weeks.
Well, I decided I literally Googled shows like Game of Thrones and watched everyone that I could find on the list.
Are any of them as good as Game of Thrones?
No, but they were all really great. I mean, they were all better than the end of Game of Thrones, but not as good as the beginning of Game of Thrones, or like the first 5.5 seasons of Game of Thrones. But I watched the second season of The Witcher, which was fantastic. I watched The Wheel of Time, which was an enjoyable watch. I don't know if it was fantastic, but I enjoyed watching it. And then I also watched Shadow and Bone, which was really, really good. I highly recommend it. And it was also produced by Josh Berry, who is in town most of the summer and a lot of the winter.
Where can you see it?
Netflix. It was really good.
Is there just one season of it?
Yeah, 1 season so far. They set it up for a really fun second season. But like the men in it are so hot. So highly recommend it.
Shadow and Bone, got it.
Yeah.
On it.
Yeah. What did you get up to?
If for the last 2 weeks, God, I mean,
Try to
so
remember.
much. Well, that Saturday, December 18th, that was Quinn's Christmas party. That was like the beginning of the week of like everybody was having a party, despite the fact that people were getting sick. But also,
Everyone.
Peter had just gotten over, or Peter was sick at the same time as you, and his quarantine ended on December 23rd. So like we were
great.
able to like have Christmas Eve, go to Christmas, do whatever. But I can only guess that it was Omicron that was ripping through the town, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
Right?
Yeah,
So
and still is.
Still is. Like,
Right.
people are dropping like flies. One of my favorite memes about it was, did you watch The Comeback with Lisa Kudrow?
No. Oh, it was like, got
Did
it.
you see that? Well, I got it. Like, she's talking about a role on a TV show, and so it's like my entire feed right now is Lisa Kudrow going, well, I got it.
Right.
And that's literally how it was. So, but fortunately, nobody was like that sick.
Yeah, no one that I know of. And if you look at the statistics, they were looking really great. Cases are up, kind of a crazy amount, but hospitalizations are down a ton. Deaths are down a ton. I think we actually surpassed our highest one-day testing in the country.
Oh, great.
No, that's bad. It's very bad. Basically, like, the most amount of people tested positive in a day.
Oh, I thought you meant getting tests.
No.
Oh,
Right.
I misunderstood what he was saying.
No one could test. Well, I presume that I've had COVID twice because I lost my sense of smell twice.
Right.
But both times were the only 2 times in the pandemic where you couldn't get tested.
Oh, Jesus.
So the first time was right at the very beginning, where if they were like, if you're not dying, don't test yourself, just stay home. And then again, there was, I don't know if there was a test shortage, but you couldn't get a test.
Right.
I just think they weren't prepared for all of a sudden everyone to buy 5 at-home tests.
Right.
Yeah.
People were like,
Well, people were already hoarding them for the holidays, because I think a lot of people, like, I saw someone on Facebook, and I actually thought this was a really cute idea in the moment, but then later I was like, you wasted all those tests.
What?
But someone was throwing a party, and in their garage at the entrance, they had a table set up all with rapid tests and champagne. So as you arrived to the party, you had to wait outside while you waited your 15 minutes for your rapid test, and you got to sip on a glass of champagne, which I think is really cute. But then later I was like, wow, we really could use those tests right now.
I went to a party like that too, but also we all tested negative and then went into the party knowing that we just felt a lot safer and more comfortable doing that.
I think everyone should understand, if you are going to go into a place where you're interacting with people, or a substantial amount of people, you are going to be exposed to COVID.
Totally, absolutely.
There's no chance you could put 20 random people in a group together and have none of them have COVID in this moment.
Right.
So-
No, you're probably right.
So just know that.
But you know what? It did seem to be, I knew a lot of couples that one had it and one didn't.
You were one of them, right?
We were. Yeah, like, I never got it that whole time that Peter had it. And so that's interesting to me. Let's talk to Paolo about this
Are you
later.
boosted?
I'm boosted. I got
No.
boosted at the beginning of November.
All my friends who were boosted, like, I don't know of any friends who were boosted that got it.
Peter.
Oh, Peter's boosted too.
Yeah.
But he wasn't super sick?
He wasn't super sick.
Great.
He actually said, had he felt like this 2 years ago, pre-pandemic, he still would have gone to work feeling the way that he felt.
Right.
He was like, I had a fever of 99.1, which is barely a fever. Like, you almost don't even notice it. And he was like, we used to just go to work, even if you felt like just a little not great, right?
We used to go to work fully sick.
I know. I
Like-
think those days are over.
I wish that were even possibly true.
No.
No. You work in a restaurant, you're going to be like, oh, I have a cold. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. But I do think we should be moving towards that standard of, if you're sick, stay home.
Right.
Because no one wants to get sick.
Right.
But a lot of, like, especially working in the restaurant industry, the idea of calling out for an extended amount of time because you have a cold is crazy.
Right.
But I think you can, like, you want to be like, oh, it's because my managers don't want to be short-staffed because it'll be stressful. But, like, if you really boil it down to, like, the real reasoning, like, the only way that's going to be able to happen is if guests lower their expectations.
Right.
Like, I think we should kind of normalize, like, oh, welcome to the restaurant. So sorry, 2 of our people are out sick, so things are going to be slow.
Right. Yeah, you just have to, like, make people aware of what's going on. I was at an establishment last night. We have a little video of Kaya singing later on. It's the club, obviously. I was gonna, like, not say it, but obviously.
Great work.
You know what I'm talking about. No, but there were so many people there. It was so busy, and there was just one poor waiter running around having to do everything. 2 bartenders helping him as much as they could, like running drinks for him and stuff. But I just want to warn everybody, if you're in Provincetown for the weekend, there aren't enough people working.
Right.
Wherever you go, they're probably a little short-staffed. Be patient, be compassionate, practice gratitude.
Yeah, I was working yesterday at the brewery, and on Thursday we typically, through the winter, we only have one person working at a time, and it has worked every Thursday since probably mid-October, and will work probably every Thursday through the rest of the year. But this Thursday was very busy. I was alone. I handled it very well because I'm a professional. But there were a few people who were like, "Oh my God, are you the only person working? That's crazy. They should have put more people on." And I'm like, just because y'all showed up for New Year's doesn't mean all of a sudden there's double the amount of people to work.
Right.
Like every business is staffed for the winter so that their employees can make money and so that they can support the business that they have for 99% of the days in the winter. And just because everyone decided to go to P-Town for New Year's doesn't necessarily mean like all of a sudden there's more people to work.
I did actually pick up a shift last night, but then it was taken from me.
A shift?
Yeah.
Where?
Strangers and Saints
How
needed a
cute.
food runner for the whole week. Excuse me. And I was like, well, I could do Thursday. So they were like, great, we'll take it. And then, do you know Ned, who used to live here? Ned.
I saw him like across a store.
Yeah,
a few
so
weeks-
Ned came back for the
yesterday.
whole week and was like, I'll do the whole week. And they're like, oh, that's better for us to have the same person doing it.
Oh, thank God Bob won't be here.
So they're like, we don't need you to do it after all. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, because like working in a restaurant, not that it's not fun, but like when you're doing it every day, it's like kind of like you're kind of trudging through. But like working for like one day in a restaurant you don't work at, you're like, fun. I get to like walk around.
As a
like,
food runner, where like people can't really ask you anything, you're just like, here. And then you walk away. Isn't that what food runners do?
I don't think so.
There you go.
Not when you're working. They've
do
got
you-
Slack to pick up. Just kidding.
What's your New Year's resolution gonna be?
I don't have one.
I have one.
I
for
don't
you.
need one.
Yes, you do. So anyway, those Game of Thrones shows weren't the only thing you watched. You caught up on And Just Like That, didn't you?
Well, we talked about it so much, and I felt kind of foolish, like talking about it, having not seen it, and having a lot of opinions about it, having not seen it.
You
but-
had a lot of opinions about Dave Chappelle, and you never watched that.
and I don't plan on it. Anyway, but it was mostly about what I had heard, and you were telling me spoilers, but I went home and caught up, ugly cried for an hour and 15 minutes straight. Well, the funny thing is like, Steph and my roommate kept being like, oh, we'd be sitting on the couch, she's like, let's watch it just like that, and I kept being like, oh no, I'm gonna watch that later. And it was so that I could watch it alone, because I knew I was gonna ugly cry through it all.
You cried the whole time?
The whole second episode, I wept.
Oh, the funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sad.
It was sad. And then I cried again when she was like put his ashes up with her shoes.
That made you cry?
So much.
That made Peter's eyes roll so hard that they came rolling out of his head.
You have to just get on board with like the cheese of it all. And
Yeah.
I feel like the people that are like, oh, it's bad, are people who didn't love it to begin with.
Right.
And are trying to, like, you have to watch it knowing what it is and what it's supposed to be. And if you can get on board with it and you loved it the first time, like, just do that. You know what I mean?
Well, are we going to talk about this show for 20 minutes? Let's just do it.
Yeah.
I feel like what a lot of people liked about it the first time around was that it felt like...
Oh my God, our viewer count just crashed. Everyone just locked off. I'm just kidding.
No, it felt like they were representing what 30-year-old women's lives in New York were like at the time. This doesn't really feel like... I mean, I don't know that many women in their mid-50s who live in New York. I know a couple. But, like, they're not running around all trying to find a brown friend in real life. You know?
No, that was like my first takeaway. I was like, it's like everyone gets a POC friend.
Right.
Which I feel like they're kind of like righting the wrong of the fact that they put a show up that started in 1999 through the mid-2000s and like didn't have a single person of color on that show.
Yeah.
Like not one.
Not a friend or an ancillary character at
No.
all. Right, but I feel like this is going a little too far in the other direction. You know
I
what
disagree.
I mean? Really?
No, I don't think there is a too far in the other direction.
Okay.
You know
It
what I
just
mean?
doesn't feel as true to life to me.
Like if the
I understand what they're doing.
Right. But if the original standard, or not standard, but the original show was literally 0 people of color, like what's too far in the other direction if not every person being a person of color?
Right,
You know what
but
I mean?
yeah, I guess.
But I think
Or
it's
just
gr-
like recast it. Do like a black Sex in the City.
I feel like they have done that.
Right.
But I thought it was, I think it's great. Every single new character they've added is not a white person.
Right.
Like every single one, down to like both her podcast hosts, her boss, every person, which I think is great. It's kind of like equalizing and
Right, it just feels like suddenly New York is this really diverse place. I'm like,
it's
it always was.
right. And they failed in representing that the first time, and they're trying to do better this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm enjoying it a lot.
Yeah, I
and I
mean-
do think that the 5th episode was the best one so far.
Yeah, it felt like a classic episode of Sex and the City where it was like dramatic and funny and sad and yeah, it hit all the bases that they used to hit. where it felt like they had to like get through a lot of stuff to get to that point.
All right, and there's only 5 left.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm glad. I was afraid they were going to do like 7 or 8 episodes, but I'm
No,
glad
we
they're
get
doing
10.
10.
Yeah.
And it seems like a lot of people are watching it, so I think we're going to get more if they want to do more. Is there a plan that they might do more seasons?
I don't know. Let me text Samantha and ask. No, that was a plot point that a lot of people here were like, can they just stop texting her and just leave her out for good? Which side of the fence?
I think they should have her as a full character. They just like have her on like audio and have someone imitate her voice. Another thing I noticed, which I don't think anyone else would notice, but maybe you and people who work in the industry, is like there's not a single moment in that show where they're interacting with a restaurant employee where they're not horrifically rude to them.
That's not true.
Yes,
Because
it
you
is.
said that, and then when Miranda was out with her professor, she was really, really kind to the server.
And her professor was really rude.
Just to the host.
Okay, food runner. No, I'm just kidding. But I mean, there was imagine if you were working an event and someone walks up a half hour before you're supposed to start serving, and it's like, oh, I'll have a glass of wine. And they're like, oh, we're actually not serving yet. And you're like, well, I bought all this liquor, so you can give me a glass of wine. I'd be like, ew, 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 ew.
Even if it was Cynthia Nixon?
Definitely if it was Cynthia Nixon.
But it's a funeral. She was grieving. Also, though, you know, way back in the day when the show was on the first time, every gay that you knew was like, I'm a Carrie, I'm a Samantha. You were a Samantha?
60% Miranda, 40% Carrie.
Oh. 60% Miranda, 40%
Yeah.
Carrie? You weren't Samantha at all?
No.
You're making up for it now.
No, I'm not.
Is your mom watching? Is that why you said that?
I love that you like act like I'm some giant slut on this show. It's so great.
Well, no, I used to be like, I'm a Carrie, but now that Miranda's a gay alcoholic, I guess I'm a Miranda. No, can you believe what they're doing with this character?
I think it's great.
She poured 3 bottles of booze down the drain yesterday.
Yeah. It was all like vermouth too. I was like, what are you doing? Like, were you drinking vermouth? You
She was
are
having
an
a
alcoholic.
Negroni.
Okay. Yeah.
It was just cute watching her like rub the orange peel on the glass while she's listening to a podcast. She was like, oh no, I'm an alcoholic. Pour it all down. Did you watch it?
Are you fully caught up? I thought the last episode was fantastic.
No, it was.
Yeah.
But also, it's like the show used to be 25 minutes and ostensibly a comedy. Now it's like 48 minutes and like kind of sad and dramatic most of the
Yeah.
way through. It's like a different show.
I don't think so. I feel like it feels kind of the same.
This one did.
Yeah, I guess
Let's
you're
talk
right.
about. We can't really talk about this show the whole time,
Yeah.
can we?
But one more thing, I do feel like in addition to like having better representation, they better represented their queer characters. Like the gay characters being Stanford and Anthony, right? They were always like, haha, gay friend, and then they would like go off to the side. They're like, they very much are seemingly making them more like real characters and less like, I'm the gay friend, and then they like go off the screen,
Right.
which I think is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they have to fill that
Was
giant
that-
Samantha-sized hole somehow.
But when they were like, oh, Stanford went to London or wherever, Tokyo,
Tokyo.
was that when he had passed?
Oh, he died in the middle of shooting that
I
show?
didn't realize
Oh, I
that.
didn't know that either. Oh.
Yeah. And they like couldn't.
That's so funny.
Well, it sucks because they like couldn't have him die on the show. Imagine like how would, unless the
Just start killing everybody.
Well, unless
off.
the season was Carrie going to an insane asylum, like in like the second half of the season, like all of Carrie's close friends and.
Start texting.
Great. No, I think she was like, oh, Stanford's in Asia. Threw her phone over. She's like, meh. But anyway.
No, I also really enjoyed the sort of lack of vanity of Sarah Jessica Parker, like peeing, like spilling her own pee on her bed and stuff.
I did think
It's like, this is real.
I did think it was weird in like one episode she went from being like, these are my walk-in heels to like, hip surgery. I was like,
That is the truest part of the show. If you spend your 30s running around the streets of New York in high heels, you will need a hip replacement in your mid-50s. I was like, that's true. Like, I used to watch that show and be like, she just ran 40 blocks in those shoes. She's going to regret that someday.
yeah.
And that day is now.
No, I was watching the episode last night where I was like, oh, that's the 40% of me that's Carrie. When they're like, when she's in physical therapy and they're like, I think this works best if you're working towards a goal. What's your goal? And she's like, to get back in heels. And they're like, okay, any other goal? She's like, no. I'm like,
That's you.
tell me.
Don't run down the street in them is all
Not
I'm saying.
heels, but just like the most vain goal.
Did you watch Don't Look Up?
No.
You need to. There's a bunch of people
We
in
liked it.
town who are in it.
No way.
Yeah, Jodie O'Neill and Ann Stott are like.
Oh, I did see that Ann Stott was in it. That was
Jodie
cute.
O'Neill is the stage manager who's like, get up there, go, 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 go.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. I guess they shot it in Boston.
Yeah, but about Don't Look Up, and also I went to go see Spider-Man right after my isolation ended, and there's so many things coming out where like, oh, it's bad. The reviews are in and it's bad. I just think we should start ignoring reviewers. Because I feel like I never watch something with the intent of being like, is it good or bad? I'm like, am I enjoying this or not? And I'm not like actively asking that. I will notice if I'm not enjoying. But like, I don't think we as viewers need to like listen to these people like who are actively going in with this like critical eye of like, is it good or bad?
You're talking about Don't Look Up?
Everyone said, all the reviews came back and said Don't Look Back Up was terrible. And I don't know a single
Really?
person who's watched it who didn't enjoy it.
I laughed so much. Like, I don't know if it's objectively good or not, but I thought it was really fun.
Well, they said the satire was like, didn't hit the mark.
Well, because it's almost too real to be satirical.
Right.
Like, you can imagine people really reacting this way in this circumstance,
Right.
which sucks.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's a comet coming at the Earth, and people are like, oh, look who broke up with who. And it's like, that's exactly what we would do.
That is what we are actually doing in this very moment.
I know.
Right.
Yeah, terrible shit's happening all over the planet. I was just watching they were like scooping out garbage from that giant Pacific garbage patch.
Yeah, I watched that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I was like,
Not
there's
great.
my laundry basket. I've been looking for that for like 6 months. It's been in the Pacific Ocean the whole time.
Yeah. Bob took an Ambien, walked to the beach, and threw his laundry basket in the
Walked
ocean.
to the Pacific Ocean.
Right.
You know what else I watched? So I spent my week watching like classics. I was like, I'm only going to
cute.
watch things that I know are good. And so I watched the first Friday, the original Friday.
Okay, that's
It's-
not where my brain went when I took classes.
You're expecting me to say Out of Africa.
Like Casablanca.
Well, I've seen that 100 times, but like Friday I hadn't seen in so long that I was like, I wonder if it holds up. Does. Still does. And then I watched Broadcast News. Are you familiar?
No.
It's
Oh, like familiar with broadcast news?
the
I've heard
movie
of it.
Broadcast
Oh,
News.
okay.
So, you know Terms of Endearment.
Yeah.
So Broadcast News is the movie James Brooks made next.
Okay.
So like expectations were high. It ended up getting nominated for 100 Oscars, but does not hold up.
Oh.
It's like Holly Hunter is a news producer, William Hurt is the handsome but stupid anchor, and Albert Brooks is the smart but like kind of dorky and unsexy reporter. And it's like this love triangle, and I was just like, the handsome stupid person keeps getting promoted and keeps winning at the expense of the like not cute guy. And much like Don't Look Up, it was just a little too real. I was like, oh no, I didn't like it.
Well.
And I found Holly Hunter really irritating. And I used to think that I liked her, but maybe I never did. I don't know. Holly, if you're watching this, you're great.
You've grown and learned.
Well, she was amazing in The Piano. But I mean, this movie, I was like, this was nominated for Best Picture? Like, tastes change. I think looking back at that movie, it's just not as good as people thought it was then. And that's just my opinion. I don't know.
Great. Do you have a New Year's resolution?
I do have a New Year's resolution.
Well, how'd you do on your last one? What was yours last year? Do you remember?
I bet if we went back and watched last year's New Year's show,
So Bob did really bad at his last year's one since he doesn't even remember.
it probably had something to do with procrastination or productivity. And no, I was really productive this year.
Great.
I nailed it. I nailed my New Year's resolution for 2021. Oh, I did learn 4 chords on the guitar, and I said that I would be ready by Labor
Was
Day.
that your resolution?
Was that a resolution? Yeah. So I learned how to play 1 song.
Great.
And I was supposed to. You were like, "When are you going to be ready to perform in public?" And I was like, "Labor Day." And then you didn't call me on it, so I didn't do it.
Okay.
But surprise, everybody! I'm going to play guitar right now.
Oh my God.
Just kidding.
Do you have one for this year?
Yeah, my New Year's resolution this year is try not to derive too much joy from this, but it is to have less fun at others' expense.
Oh. So we're currently looking for another co-host for Wake Up in Provincetown, as Bob will have nothing to say. Just kidding.
Well, what's yours?
I don't have one this year.
You should have one.
I don't know.
You have
Unlike all the ones I've
29
done for the
minutes.
last 2 years.
You have 29 minutes to come up with
No.
one. I'm going to ask you again at the end
Last
of the
year it was
show.
use less napkins, I think.
Did you?
No.
You didn't even do that?
No. I'm
pick,
just that
like-
person if I'm like, especially here at the brewery where there's always like a napkin holder at every table. I'm like, take a bite, napkin.
Oh no.
Take another bite, napkin.
And then stuff it into the glass.
No, never, 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 never.
Really?
Oh, but speaking of New Year's, there's so much stuff going on tonight.
There's a ton of stuff going on tonight and this weekend. Tell them.
Tonight, starting at 10:30, there's a cabaret-style party at the Crown. So it's not like a party. It's like seated at tables, but cabaret-style seating. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Who's hosting it?
Me and you.
Ah!
Did you know?
No. Oh my God, we are? I thought
Yeah.
I was cocktail waiting.
Yeah. Maybe, right, Jonathan? maybe we'll throw him onto cocktail.
I'm literally going to walk down from the stage with a cocktail. Ooh, I just
Yeah.
came up with a bit.
But Kaya Cristal, Liza Law, Grace, tons of people.
John Richardson.
Yep. Who else? Damon.
Damon, who we're talking to today. We didn't even tell them who we have on the show
No,
today.
we did. Oh, we told Instagram, not
Right.
here. Right.
You guys, we have a great show for you today. now that we're halfway done the show.
Now that we're done talking about it just like that.
We have the brand spanking new owners of the Crown and Anchor, Jonathan and Paolo here, finally, to talk about all of their big plans for 2022.
Yeah. We've asked Jonathan to talk every week since he took it over for Holly Folly, but he's been busy.
He said this was the busiest week of his life.
This week?
I was being a bit dramatic.
A bit?
You know. You dramatic? Also, tomorrow night, Thirsty has a show, and also at 7:30, Suede has a show. You love Suede.
I do love Suede. Suede's earlier than Thirsty, or wait.
Suede's at 7:30, Thirsty is at 9:30, also with Roxy, Liza, and Mahogany. So it's going to be a
Wow.
really fun show.
Awesome.
Yeah. Tomorrow at 1 to 5, there is the Hair of the Disco dance party here at the Provincetown Brewing Company, so stop by for that. Last year it was a lot of fun.
There's tons of programming over at the Post Office Cabaret.
Yep.
Tomorrow night, there's Anita Cocktail Solo Show.
Fireworks
Mona Moore
tonight.
at 9 o'clock.
I'm getting better at
Mona's
your charades.
doing her show at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Oh,
Fireworks tonight at
that's
5:30.
tonight. The fireworks are tonight at 5:30 instead of tomorrow because of inclement weather that's coming our way.
Yeah, Tammy Brown is taking over at the Pilgrim House. She has her thing going on tonight for New Year's Eve. She has a show tonight and tomorrow. She has a brunch on Sunday. It's going to be killer.
There's drag brunch Saturday and Sunday at the post office, 2 seatings. I think 10 and 11 or 10 and 11:30, something like that.
Maybe it's at Tin Pan Alley, though.
Oh, it is?
Oh, cute.
Drag brunches?
Oh, maybe not. I think it's at Tin Pan Alley.
Drag Bingo is sold out.
Oh. Lots of events, lots of them are sold out
Yeah.
already as well. Are we calling this person?
Yeah, it's a birthday
Later
today.
or now?
Let's do it now.
Okay. So we're,
This person's in an entirely different country, but it is hours ahead.
yes,
So
it's
we'll see.
later there. I wonder if they get up that early where they are.
I think it's a busy.
I haven't heard that sound in
I
like
know, I was about to
10
say,
years.
Is that a thing? Call the other person. Let's wake them up.
Okay. They're not going to wake up.
No, especially when they see your name.
Or, oh, so you're going to take the mantle of having fun at other people's expense
Yay!
now that I'm not doing it
Can't
anymore?
wait.
Can you imagine having your birthday on New Year's Eve?
There's always a party.
That's true.
Not yours, but always a party.
Oh, it's awfully early.
Good morning.
Good morning. We just wanted to wish you a happy birthday from Wake Up in Provincetown.
Good morning, Sean. Happy birthday.
No way.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're on camera right now. Good morning.
Oh my God. Well, good morning, and thank you so much. This is so fun.
You're
Of
welcome. I
course.
can't believe you actually answered the phone at 9:30. Are you more of a morning person than I thought?
No.
He's like, no, you were
Oh,
correct.
so sorry for waking you up. We love you.
I love you too, guys.
Happy
Love you,
birthday. Happy
bye.
New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year, guys.
Bye.
Yeah, that was Sean Burke. We never. That was Sean Burke, the owner of the Red Inn and our lovable boss.
Yes. Aw, happy birthday, Sean. And we were trying to call our coworker Tiago, who's in Brazil, 2 hours ahead of us right now, and that was that weird sound, that like busy sound the phone made.
I know that '90s noise.
Right, I know. It's like, is there a cord on this thing? Like, I can't believe it did that.
Another fun thing that popped up in town this week was winter windows. If you managed to pass by Cafe Heaven is closed, but rather than just putting up like kind of brown paper or newspaper or whatever big whiteboards like a lot of restaurants do, our very own Mark is starting to spearhead a project of doing winter windows, which is kind of having more like lively, fun art installations. And this is the first one and kind of like the prototype. Paul Rizzo and Benji Weinrib Grosskell put together some really fun art. Gaston printed and kind of like, what's the word? Manipulated. Kind of put it together so that it would work in the windows, kind of took their art so that it could be installed. Mark kind of spearheaded the whole thing, and I think you're going to try to look for more spaces and more artists to do this. So if you have a space or you're an artist, reach out to Mark.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Did you put a picture up there?
Do we have a picture? Yeah, it's super cute, super colorful. A lot, like because there's a lot of places not open. To walk down Commercial Street, which is always so much fun, it kind of becomes a little less fun in the winter because it's so like not lively. And I think this takes spaces that are specifically not lively as they're closed and like kind of freshens them up, brightens them up, and turns it into like a really fun thing to see as you're walking down Commercial Street.
Totally.
Yeah.
Are we going to show them a video?
Yeah, let's show that little clip of Kaya. So you were at the club last night.
So last night at the club, it was Kaya and the Mike Flanagan trio. Awesome as always. So good, so much fun, so beautiful. I think we have a 2-minute clip for everybody to enjoy, right?
Check it out.
Life is a beautiful thing. As long as I hold the string, I'd be a silly so-and-so if I should ever let go. I've got the world on the string. Been an awful good girl, Santa baby. So please continue tipping me. Santa baby, a 54 convertible to dark blue. Golden day, I got mesmerized. Of your faithful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us. Through the years, we all will be together. If the fates allow, we'll hang our shining star upon the highest. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Have yourself a merry little Christmas Way up high.
I'm so bummed I missed that.
Yeah, but she'll be performing tonight at the variety show.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
I'm going to be there.
You are. You're hosting
Hosting.
it. You know who else is performing tonight at the
Who?
variety show?
Tell me.
Damon Green.
Killer.
Damon, thank you so much for waking up early to be
woke
here with
up.
us.
Yeah, thank you.
It's so good to see you back in Provincetown after your last extended stay.
I know. It's
Yeah.
been, I feel like it's home already.
Great. Well, you had your first trip to Provincetown this past summer to visit your good friend Peter, correct?
Yes. So we were celebrating my good friend Peter's 40th birthday, and he had been trying to convince us to come forever. And we were just kind of like, okay, it's an experience, whatever, we're just gonna go. I know, we didn't know how magical this place was.
Right.
And so when we came for his birthday celebration, it was, we just immediately fell in love, and we're like, okay, so how do we get back to this place?
You must have been really resistant because Peter can talk a dog off a meat truck. Like Peter's very convincing normally.
He is. He is very convincing, and we've known Peter. Peter's like one of our greatest friends, and we knew Peter in Chicago. We met Peter because of his very energetic, amazing personality. He was our server, and then we just how can you not fall in love with someone like that? He's just phenomenal. So, I know we love him.
I love the story of your next visit, though. You came for a quick trip. How long were you supposed to be here for?
So, what had happened was, so we came because we have friends. We take these gay family trips with a group called the Our Family Vacation group, and we have friends that we visit in Boston that are from Boston. We decided that every other Thanksgiving we would come out and celebrate Thanksgiving with them. And so we came like the Tuesday before, and we were coming to visit Peter for Saturday and Sunday and leave on Monday. Well, what happened was we actually went into we went to fuel up as we were leaving Boston, and our car, we pulled out of the gas station and the car just went kaput, and we're like, what's happening? We don't know where we're gonna go. So we immediately let Peter know what was happening. That was a whole bunch of shenanigans. They kept promising us dates when our car would be finished, and then we're kind of like, we're just gonna chalk it up as we're supposed to be here. So,
Yeah.
And then we end up being here for an additional 2 weeks.
That was great. And that's kind of how you got connected with the Crown and Anchor and Provincetown, because you were working more than I was.
I know. I was like, what happened?
Right.
Well, it's great because of all the wonderful connections everyone has here, and Peter knowing several people, introducing us to people, and also just meeting Bob and others, and they all knew I danced, but they didn't know the extent of it. And I got a wonderful invitation from Jonathan and Danny, and they were like, "Come on, let's dance." And I was like, "Okay, let's go, let's do this." So I was very excited about that, to just to do what I love to do.
Yeah.
Just dance.
No, you were great. I was at those parties that you were going at, and it was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I am a performer. I love performing.
Is that how kind of now you're doing voguing classes, you've done more parties at the Crown, so you were hired to go, but then did they know you were going to vogue, or did they tell you to vogue, or did you just start voguing and now it's like...
They kind of knew just from my Instagram, and also Danny sharing information, and Jonathan knew just in conversation. And so they said, why not? I don't know if P-Town has ever seen that, so give it to them.
Cute.
So,
and we got it.
Yeah.
And you're going to bring a little bit of that to the stage
I
tonight?
am. I'm going to do a nice a Vogue fusion kind of thing, just to give people the experience of the aesthetic.
That's awesome.
And then the next day, New Year's Day, I am going to be teaching a Vogue workshop, The Elements, that is open to everyone. I mean, very beginners. I actually love teaching people that are very fresh, very green, very beginner. Just because I get to see something different. It's nice to train dancers or active dancers, but it's always great to train non-dancing people, train. It's more exciting. I get more feeling in life from those people.
Right.
Yeah.
What time is the workshop tomorrow?
The workshop is at 4.
Okay.
At
And
the Paramount?
At the Wave Bar.
At the Wave Bar.
Are you going to go?
4 o'clock tomorrow, if I'm awake.
I don't have the knees for it.
What? Okay, so there is a huge misunderstanding about the elements of voguing. The way I have a format that will protect, because I really care about my knees and what happens. My goal is to keep voguing until I'm about 80. So I have a format of how to protect those parts of the body. So just come.
I could have used you 10 years ago.
And there's also other elements.
I'm a runner, so my knees are...
Yeah.
You're running down the street in heels, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
There's that 40% carry.
So how long are you guys here this time? Another 3 weeks?
Whatever the universe gives us.
Yeah.
If the universe says you got to stay here for another 3 weeks, we're gonna,
We'll put some sugar in your gas tank, so you'll be stuck here for a few more weeks.
Did you drive this time?
We flew.
Okay.
Great. We actually had when Jonathan called. Actually, as we were leaving, we were, Jonathan called and said, hey, what are you doing for New Year's? I was like, probably nothing. And we actually had an invitation to go to a New Year's party, but I couldn't pass up an opportunity to come back and, you know, perform at the Crown and Acre and dance at the Crown and Acre. So it's like, we're coming back, and my partner, Ed, was like, let me check these miles and so we can get out here and go again, because any opportunity we can get to come out, we're coming.
You'll live here in no time.
I know! I feel it already.
How's the real estate hunt going?
You know, she's a little light right now, but you know, we're looking into things. We're not ruling it out, but you know, we'll see what happens.
All right. I mean, you've got people on the ground.
Yeah, you know, we got our feelers out. We got our resources, hoping they all work. You know,
So
look out for us, and eventually we'll be like here.
Right.
can't
Not
wait.
not full time.
We'll
but,
see.
you know,
We'll see.
You know.
I mean, did you ever think you'd be here full time until you were?
That first summer, I came for one summer,
Same. One summer.
17 summers ago.
Yeah.
Wow, that's all it takes.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
Right.
Well, I can't wait to see you perform tonight.
Thank you. I'm excited to.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll see you tonight.
Yes. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're gonna very awkwardly transition to our next interview guest now. Talk about something.
Well, where are you having dinner tonight?
I don't know. My only
You don't
plan-
have a New Year's Eve reservation somewhere?
No.
Oh my God.
I mean, with these big crazy weekends is when I kind of take a big step back and I'm like, I'll let them have their fun.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a giant meal right before I come host this
Where are
show
you
with
going?
you.
Oh, you're going to
Strangers
Strangers and
in the City.
Saints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You're gonna
always
run
a
your
good
own
time.
food?
Yes.
Great. Perfect.
I was really looking forward to that. That's like a role that I've never done in a restaurant.
Food runner?
Yeah.
It looks like something that I would enjoy.
Yeah?
It's like a challenge, like a brain challenge.
How?
Like you have to be very organized.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you very organized?
In tasks like that? Not in
Maybe
my life.
that can be your New Year's resolution. You could be more organized this year.
I'm gonna give myself something that I might be able to succeed at.
I mean, you couldn't even succeed at using less napkins, it sounds like.
I know. Whoops.
I'm not having fun at your expense. Well, I am, but it's still 2021. Starting tomorrow, it'd be so much nicer to you.
We'll see.
What? Hi. How
Hi.
are you?
Seamless.
Yeah,
Guys,
seamless.
welcome to the show. The new owners of the Crown and Anchor, Paolo Martini, Jonathan Hawkins. Thank you so much for stepping on this side of the camera.
It's a pleasure.
I believe you.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Thank you.
How's it gone so far?
It has been an insane month. So we closed on the property on November 30th. So it's truly only been a month. And we immediately fell into Holly Folly, which was amazing, but it's been really incredible to take over at this time because we have pockets of really busy weekends, but then we have like 4 or 5 days off that we can sort of like reassess and say what the fuck just happened and how can we improve next weekend. But the support that we've received from the community has just been so overwhelming. It's been such a cool thing to watch, and people are so excited about the changes that we've made. The staff has been incredible. It's been a really, really awesome month.
Yeah, and like also from this side of being able to go to all the parties that you've been doing and being able to go to the Crown, it's like also been incredible. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
You haven't had a minute to breathe yet, really.
Not yet. Yes.
Maybe on Monday.
Yes, I hope so. I think so. We'll see.
Yeah, right.
I don't breathe very well.
You both kept being like, well, after Holly Folly, and then
I
it's
know.
like, but then it was this, then it was this, then it was.
This has sort of been this weekend. I have said just after New Year's, then we can take a break. So this has been sort of the goal line for a while. But yeah, we're ready for a little bit of a break. But excited. We'll be closed just for January and half of February, and then we'll reopen Valentine's Day weekend.
Great.
Yeah, and kick it off.
Are you going to get to go anywhere in the 6 weeks that you're closed?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
I'm taking a sabbatical from Moderna because I've been working there for many years now, and so I decided to take it now, particularly after this summer has been particularly busy. So we decided that it's time to take some time off. We're going to Belize.
Killer.
We're going back to Belize. We went last year for New Year's, actually, and we fell in love with with it down there, and it was like the first time either one of us had taken a vacation in a very long time, and it like truly felt like a vacation. And so when we were talking about where to spend some time this time, I was like, you know, we could go to Puerto Vallarta, but that you always are a little more tired when you come back from Puerto Vallarta. It's not much of a vacation. And so I was like, we just need to go to Belize where we can actually sleep.
Unplugged.
Just like chill.
Yeah.
Which was also a great vacation for us because we realized that we really wanted to be together, and that's why Belize for me is is a great memory.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
why
it
we
was the
want to go
first
back.
time that
Yeah.
like things sort of slowed down, and we had like an opportunity to sort of get to know each other in a different way. I think.
Yeah, and when you travel well together, and we were on the same page every day, on the same pace as well, and so we thought, oh, this is good.
Yeah.
Probably there's something here.
You never really know someone until you travel with them. I
No,
feel.
exactly.
True.
That's
Especially
exactly
during
it.
COVID.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We when we got to Belize, this was like pre-vaccination. You get to this like little tiny airport in Belize City, and they were testing you, and there was like a plexiglass wall, and then 2 gloves that stuck through it, and then someone on the other side who handed you a swab, and then they stuck it up your nose for you. But like the level of the arms was really low, and so I was like squatting. It was one of the best experiences of my life. Yeah, it was. It was fun. So it'll be nice to go back. Obviously, you know, certain restrictions are still in place, but it'll be very nice to go back.
Yeah.
How long are you going to be there?
For 10 days.
Oh, nice.
10 days.
2 days now.
That was
10
2
days.
weeks. Yeah, 10
Is
days.
this a celebratory trip? Are you celebrating anything special?
Do you have any big announcements to make?
Yeah.
Well, we moved into our house.
Okay.
Yeah, we finally moved into our house, which most of the town knows was a massive debacle.
Yeah.
For a long time, we were supposed to move in June, and then that didn't happen because of a contractor who I will not name his name, but he lives in town. Fucked us over, and a wonderful designer as well. Wow, so sorry. So we finally moved in on December 1st as well. So it's been a very busy month.
Yeah.
And then on Christmas Day, Paolo proposed.
Did you say yes?
I did. How long have you been holding on to that?
I was like, are those silica
Did you have
beads?
long grain rice in your pocket? What?
It's good luck. It's good
Didn't you
luck.
hear me ask Trevor for rice?
I was like, did your phone get wet?
Like, what is happening? I love
Oh, you're supposed to. That's good luck.
Good luck. Yeah,
Thank
it is. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Gonna kill you.
So we got engaged.
That's so exciting. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's so sweet.
It is.
No, it's after like all the stuff that both of them were doing over the whole summer, gearing up to buy the crown, being at Moderna, which is I assume been busy. Right. You were like jumping around from place to place the whole summer, which
Yeah,
must
it's
have been
been
stressful.
a very challenging summer. But once again, this was to me the sort of the confirmation that we are good together because in the whole debacle of
We had to move 8
moving,
times this summer.
moving,
8 times.
packing, unpacking, and then the crown business, and then obviously our own daily job. We only had 2 arguments in the whole summer.
It's incredible.
Who was wrong?
It was. I don't think there was a wrong or a right. It was understanding
stress.
that we were both living in a very stressful environment.
Right.
We moved so often, and
You're going to be great at this marriage.
and some of the places were not ideal. Obviously, Paolo works a lot from home and is on like very serious conference calls and like Zoom calls most of the day. And I sing show tunes, and so I would like try to be very quiet. But there was one place that we were living where like I could not walk past. I couldn't go to the bathroom unless I was like scooching across the wall. So I wasn't like he'd be like presenting to like the Archduke of Austria, and I'm like trying to sneak through, and he would like. And I'd be like, I have to poo. And so we had a few moments of like, okay, we're all stressed. I poop.
I can't imagine it gets harder. Like that, you guys had the hardest year of your lives
Yeah.
together, and
Yeah.
it's all smooth sailing from here.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it is, and that's why we made this decision. In spite of, it was interesting because during the whole negotiation, the lawyers, the tax people, they were like, "Are you guys getting married? Are you guys getting married? It would be better for the business. It would be better." I was like, "We don't want to get married just for this reason."
We talked about it. We're like, oh, so we talked to several like estate planners and lawyers, and they're like, yeah, you should probably get married. And like we would talk about it when we got in the car, and I was like obviously we're very committed to each other. We have signed our lives away forevermore. But I don't want to get married just for like business purposes.
Right. And you're like, I don't want the person who proposes to be our financial advisor.
Right. Yeah.
But I think for me, the moment that I knew it was that he was very protective of me in a very bad situation that we ran into in Fort Lauderdale, and I saw a true love. That's why.
You're gonna make me cry.
I was like a mother whose baby was stuck under a car, and I was like, I turned into a very different person, and it was.
Yeah, I never had anything like that. So for me, it was I realized that this was a real thing.
Oh my God, you guys. Let's talk about next summer. What big changes do you have coming up at the Crown next summer?
It's a lot. You know, I think what's very important, the Crown, I think, is owning the Crown is a big responsibility, I think, to the community. And I think it's important to honor everything that the Crown has been. You know, so many people, we've heard so many stories of people's first kiss or meeting their husbands or their first public blowjob or, you know.
I'm gonna cry.
I think it's really important to understand how to honor the tradition of what the Crown is and has meant to so many people. But that doesn't mean we can't elevate it, what it has been. And so, you know, I don't think physically there's going to be like a grand makeover right away. I keep saying that the makeover is gonna, the rebranding is gonna happen from within. So we've kept on the entire staff, all of the managers. I added 2 new incredible managers, Mark Garrett, who's right there, and Daniel Mirandola, and they've been unbelievable.
Mirandola.
Thank
No,
you.
don't.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
Tried to.
You said it right.
I know.
It's Mirandola.
No.
I know. I always saw Mirandola, and he has stopped correcting me. So I was like, wait.
He's not correcting me.
But he's. It's been incredible, and it's been a really interesting month because right after Holly Folly, we lost Dennis and Shia, who are 2 of our incredible Jamaican workers who could actually run the business by themselves, and they left as planned after Holly Folly, as well as our restaurant manager Keith, who's unbelievable. He left right after Holly Folly, and so it has been 3 weeks of Mark and
Left for the season, they're coming back.
Yeah. Mark and Daniel and I. Really figuring things out. The other day we were going through all of the New Year's reservations, and I was like, okay, we should just like go through the tables. And Daniel's like, do you know the table numbers? And I was like,
You don't
Oh
know.
no.
no, I actually don't.
But like, imagine what an amazing team once you've learned everything, trial by
been-
fire
yeah.
a little, and then those people come back. You're going to be such a killer team.
Yeah, it's been awesome. The only drama we've had is one weekend we didn't order limes. Yeah, and so that was
Drama.
big deal.
It's a big
so
deal.
if that's our only issue so far, we're in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
Can I ask you about a rumor that I heard?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
What?
I heard that Showgirls was coming back to the Crown and Anchor.
I can neither confirm or deny.
Okay.
Who knows?
Did you hear that though?
No, I mean, I think it's one of those things that rumors, no matter what was happening on your end, that rumor was going to happen.
I will say that, you know, I've been here since 2014. My actually what brought me here was, shall I say, a Showgirls ripoff. In 2014, after Ryan and Rick decided to go their separate ways, the next summer, the Crown and Anchor kind of produced a Showgirls-esque variety competition show called Audition. I was flown up to be a guest judge and performer, and then never left, as the classic P-Town story. And the first summer, I went to Showgirls. I had never heard of it. I didn't know who Ryan Landry was. I had never been to P-Town before. I went to Showgirls, and I got kicked out. I got asked to leave, and I was called Rick Murray's henchman. Yeah. And so that was interesting and a good, like, oh, fuck, P-Town is a lot. I cried a lot that summer, but that, you know, so many people who were involved in audition are still my absolute family. It was one of Mackenzie's first summers. It was Elemental P.
She got second place overall, right?
Yeah,
Elle?
Mackenzie did, or Elle?
Yeah, I think it was a few drag queens from New York who won. Elle got second, and Bang got third, right?
Yeah,
Pre-Bang Bang.
I think
Yeah.
Elle got second.
Yeah, and then Bang got third.
Yeah. Bang was not even created at that point. Yeah, so the prize for that was they all got their own show in P-Town the next summer, and Bang, Chris at that point hadn't done drag, and so by the next summer he was like, well, I don't want to do a show as myself, what am I going to do? And Bang was born.
Yeah, I was at that show.
Yeah, so it was...
part of the prize was also a house for that week while they were producing the show, and since Bang lived here, he gave me his room in the house.
Oh, I
so
love that.
I stayed in the house the whole week.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. But so since then, Ryan and I have a great relationship. I think what he has done and what he's done for this community and for this town is really incredible. Showgirls is an absolute staple. And so if it were to be coming back to the Crown, it would be a total honor, because I think what he has done, and it's just what you do on a Monday night.
Yeah.
You go to Showgirls. So maybe it'll be at the
Or
Crown.
you play trivia.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. After going to trivia.
Yeah, trivia's 7 to 8:30. Showgirls at 9, plenty of
We
time.
actually did plan it that way.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a perfect pre-Showgirls event.
But you'll tell us first when it's official.
Yes, you'll
we
be the
can
one.
break the story
Well,
here.
if it is official, you'll be the ones to break the story.
Yay, stay tuned.
You guys, I love you so much.
I love you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations on
Thank you.
everything. And this year's is going to be smooth sailing, I have a feeling.
Thanks.
You're going to stay in the same house for a year
I
straight.
know. Yeah.
Just not moving 8 times
Yeah.
is going to be
Oh
a
my
huge
God.
turnoff.
We've never actually.
quite the
We've never
potential.
actually lived. Well, we've lived together, obviously, but we always had our own places until we thought we were moving into the house, and then that didn't happen. So we lived out of suitcases for the full summer, and so we've never cohabitated.
Yeah.
All of our stuff has not been in the same place together. And since moving in, we've realized we have a ridiculous amount of shoes, which we didn't realize. I knew I had a lot of shoes. I knew he had a lot of shoes. But now that they're put together, we have maybe 250 pairs of shoes, which is the craziest thing. It's absurd.
Yeah, absurd.
So we'll be
Are you
having
the same size?
No,
No,
so that's the
fortunately not.
unfortunate part of it. Yeah. So
It's the
maybe I
fortunate
should
part of it.
maybe I should rethink this marriage.
Just dedicate a whole room to shoes.
We currently have.
I told him he needs a Carrie Bradshaw closet.
Yes, because closets in Provincetown are so large and luxurious.
Yeah, totally. Well, thanks so much for coming in today. I know you're here
I was
anyway,
here.
but Paolo, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you tonight.
Yeah.
Yes.
See
Yes.
everyone
Tonight's
tonight.
going to be really fun.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And Happy New Year to all of you.
Yeah.
That's my New Year's resolution, to never do that again.
That was very cute. That was very cute, you guys.
Oh, you guys, we want to thank our sponsors, the Adam Howard Workshop at 3 Bradford Street, ProjectValorsailing.org, Be Well Cannabis Dispensary, The Red Inn, Cafe Heaven, The Crown and Anchor.
Yeah. Surprise.
And thank you to all of you for watching and being with us all year.
Yeah. And thanks for waking up in Provincetown.
Wherever you are.
We'll see you next year. I hate when people say that.
See you next year.
Good morning, everybody.
Oh my God.
Thank you. It is good.